Well, they helped change the world, and decades after their service, they are being recognized. KREM 2 recently traveled with Inland Northwest Honor Flight. That's the group that takes veterans to Washington, D.C. to see all the memorials that were built in their honor. And after 2 years of COVID cancellations, the nonprofit is back.
In order for them to keep flying and make their way through the waiting list of 600 veterans, Honor Flight needs to raise funds. KREM 2's Laura Papetti and photographer Brett Alberry flew with the group to give them a voice to tell their stories. Tonight, the first part of our week-long series, Honor Flight, Welcome Home.
Spring in Spokane, it can showcase the best of what we have. And spring itself is a time of renewal and life. This year, in 2022, it was a renewal of sorts for a local nonprofit. And for dozens of our local veterans,
let me do one more.
A time to look back and maybe find some life and light after years of burden.
Pretty impressive. I'm glad finally, especially for Vietnam veterans, getting recognized. And, we weren't treated very nicely when we came home.
Finally, we are here. 2.5 years since our last flight. Being here and seeing all of you today is just an absolutely fantastic feeling.
On April 25th, nearly 100 men and 1 woman
I'm anxious to go.
Gathered at Spokane International Airport. Honor Flight takes veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials built just for them. Touted as a trip of a lifetime, for some, the flight is a lifeline.
I know it has been 2 years you've been waiting to go on this flight.
Tony Lamana, the director of Inland Northwest Honor Flight, was excited to go.
4 postponements, we're finally going. It's been 2.5 years since we've flown, so it's double that Christmas morning feeling again to finally be going with these 100 vets.
But the 2-year delay proved costly. Dozens of veterans no longer here or unable to travel.
So we'll pay tribute to them and carry them in our hearts throughout the next 37 hours.
It hit especially hard for Bruce Hansen. He was a volunteer on this trip. Originally, though, he had planned to travel with his dad.
My dad was chosen to go on the Honor Flight 2 years ago, and they had to postpone it a few times because of COVID. And we were finally got the go-ahead to go again, and he contracted COVID and he passed away before we got to go.
Bruce went, still wanting to be with his dad in some way, making the trip to honor him, wearing a special jacket that his father made.
I was on the brink of tears for almost the whole time we were gone.
Each honor flight takes hundreds of hours of planning, thousands of dollars.
This is Denny, the real commandant of the program.
And a team committed to making sure that each veteran has the experience that they need, that they want. And while it's up and flying again, the backup of flights means a long list of people wanting to go. Now the calendar and the waiting become the enemies of our veterans.
It has been a pleasure, a privilege, and of course an honor serving all of you today.
But with each season brings the potential of another flight and of another welcome home.
It's pretty incredible to see that video, to see the photographs, and to realize that the act of showing up there at the airport, giving them a round of applause, shaking their hand and saying, I really do thank you for your service, that's what makes the difference. I mean, the trip is great, and to see those memorials is phenomenal, but that homecoming that so many of them never got, it made a difference.
Yeah, it's such a heartwarming story and a heartwarming thing to be able to do. I absolutely love the Honor Flight.
It's a pretty great program. And you can donate to Honor Flight. Just text the word honor, and then all of the money will go immediately back to flying our local veterans out to Washington, D.C. on future Honor Flights. Also, just a reminder, we will be airing that special. It's a half-hour special this coming Memorial Day called Honor Flight Welcome Home, and you can watch it right here Monday on KREM 2 News at 4.